Thank you very much. Check of $2.416 million.
Well, thank you, PM. Yes, we've just handed a $2.4 million check to the Prime Minister. This check repays the money that we had borrowed from government just 3 months ago on the 23rd of May this year. The reason for Fiji Pine Limited borrowing this money was to actually repay a debt that was in our books since 1985, a debt that was borrowed from the European Investment Bank. So we are thankful to the Prime Minister and the government for helping us out when we could not afford to pay the old debt of 1985. For the information of the media, we have endured a 18-month slump in the wood chip market. The whole of 2012 and half of 2013 was bad, and that was perhaps the reason we could not service this old debt. Having said that, we have been servicing without default more than $9 million of debt a year. In the last 2.5 years, we have serviced about $25 million of debt, out of which about $17.5 million has gone into reduction of the principal debt. Must thank the Prime Minister and the government. I think Fiji Pine has come a long way in the last few years. I remember having to come to the Prime Minister's office just next door and having to give him an update every month as to what's happening. I must confess, PM, that was very scary because of your demands. But we've made it happen, and initially you wanted Voreqe to get up and running and functioning. We made that happen, and we've got a lot of old debts in our books. We still have about $55 million of debt. So normally I think payment of the debt is not a strategy that we thought about, but it was something that we simply had to do in order to become strong again. There are a number of other strategies that we did think of, and these are, if I may say, a threefold strategy in terms of upgrading our capital, upgrading our forestry capital, upgrading our factory capital, and upgrading our human capital. So we are excited about the progress that we have made. But I must say that the progress made in these departments have been somewhat on a staggered basis because of the burden that we always had to endure of the past. But with the payment of this debt today, I believe that Fiji Pine is in a position now to quite firmly look into its future rather than just worrying about the past and always being burdened and constrained by it. I must say I'm excited about a number of capital projects that we are doing in terms of recommencing our boiler to supply power to the national grid, of course, provided we are in the process of negotiating fair tariff rates. I'm excited about upgrading the sawmills, which have not been upgraded in a significant way. But I must say that the one thing that we are really excited about is a upgrade that we are doing in terms of our toilet and shower facilities in all of our factories, and in terms of the canteen facilities in all of our factories. We're spending something like $350,000 in doing the upgrades over here. And if I may just explain, in terms of the canteen, we are doing a major upgrade where we are supplying all the appliances to the operator who is going to come in free of charge. And in return, the operator is going to supply food to the workers at a cheaper rate. So that's exciting, and that's exciting because it focuses on the human capital of our business, which I believe has been ignored It's important to recognize the workers. We have more than 600 workers, and I think I wouldn't be sitting here but for those workers. We value each and every worker. No one is more important than the other. That's the philosophy with which we have been working. Having said that, I believe that we can recognize the significant effort of some of my general managers, and I think I must publicly acknowledge 3 of my GMs. Wilson Mario, who's our General Manager Engineering, Andrew Nambora, who's our General Manager Operations at Fiji Pine, and Vimlesh Kumar, who's our Financial Controller, and all the other 600 employees as well. They have, the work culture has changed. When you go to Tropic, and if you were there about just a few years ago, you can visibly see that there's something different happening there, and that's exciting. Our workers are wearing new uniforms, they feel good coming to work, and I think that's very important. So I must really thank each and every one of them.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank the chair and the management of Fiji Pine. First, for the quick repayment of the money that we gave them about 3 months ago. But it says a lot of the hard work that him and his management team have put into the operations of Fiji Pine. We're all excited about the many projects that they're putting in place, but there's no doubt in my mind that we're going places with Fiji Pine. Of course, there'll be in some areas where they will need to improve, but I'm glad of the stories that is put across in the improvement of the welfare of his group of people in Fiji Pine. Vinaka.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Page.
This is a good amount of money in the bank. Okay.
Thank you very much.
This is the receipt for this, right?